welcome to Koii's Dev Webinar number 4. In general, we're just going to go over everything you need to get started with developing on Koii, the different programs we have, the various support resources we have, and maybe some other tips and tricks. And I just wanted to repeat that just because I started recording. But yeah, let's get into it. So if you haven't built on Koii before, if you haven't done anything developer-wise on Koii before, you can go to our Koii.network, which is our domain website. I can put it in chat here. And all you need to do is, well, we have a bunch of different resources, I guess. Let me go over each one. What I recommend, if you're just getting started, is go to our Easy Sandbox. It's basically our workshop and tutorial series. It's a great place to just dive into Koii and start seeing what we're all about, how to develop, how it all works on the back end, etc. But we also have a really great doc system, and I want to highlight that out. So we'll be going over some doc pages today, and we'll be looking at the docs just a bit. We'll be going over our ecosystem too. I just want to show you some of the projects that are already on Koii. We'll look at our dashboard in just a sec here, and also our Koii Ocean program. I want to go over what that is and how you could potentially get involved in our accelerator program. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Koii is a decentralized DPIN, decentralized physical infrastructure network. We are basically a big old compute network. We have over 90,000 nodes. Our L1 handles 45 transactions per second. It's lightning fast. And yeah, as we're growing, we're looking for more developers to start developing tasks on Koii, and this developer webinar is a big part of that initiative. So, as I'm sure a lot of you know, if you're here in the webinar, you can actually RSVP for our webinars here. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to know how you can get into the webinars, you can go right to our website here, Koii.network, and you can actually just click the webinar right here. If it's not here, maybe this one's passed, you can always click the arrows and slide down, and you'll be able to find the upcoming events. Another event I wanted to point out while we're here is the Koii Trueflation hackathon. So Koii has partnered with one of our ecosystem partners, Trueflation, to get a hackathon going. The hackathon is going to be about collecting data for elections and other sorts of political related tasks. So it's a pretty exciting one. You can RSVP here. There's going to be a Twitter space today, August 15th. I can actually shoot the link out to anybody who's in the webinar right now. Yeah, definitely join that. There's going to be prizes, about 3.75 million in Koii and 5,000 USDC USDC available as prizes, and that's just on the Koii side. Trueflation has their own prizes, I think another 5,000 USDC. So definitely check that out. And then we're going to be having a builder's house and our hackathon coming up in September. So I also would recommend checking that out while you're here. Again, you can sign up for our webinars here if you can't see the RSVP button. And then we also have our developer toolkit here, which we can go over in a sec. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them down. If you have questions after the fact and we don't end up getting to them, feel free to drop them in the Discord. We'll also be doing a town hall today. So hopefully we'll be there to do a heartbeat of the community. Is Koii a coin or a token? I guess both. It's a token though. Really what Koii is Koii is the name of the network. It stands for Knowledgeable and Open Infinite Internet. But then we also have the Koii token, which, that's the Koii token. And that's what you might see in your Finny wallet. I don't have a Finny wallet on this Chrome profile, but in your Finny wallet, you'd be seeing Koii. That's your token. And sometimes we just call it a coin or an altcoin. I mean, Koii isn't an
I'm good.
altcoin
How are
or
you?
an L1 coin. But sometimes we say the term coin and stuff just interchangeably when we're talking about cryptocurrencies. So Koii is the name of our token, and it's also the name of the business. But on Koii, if you're developing an app and you want to develop your own altcoins, we do have the KPL library, so you can make your own tokens basically on Koii. If you want to host your own hackathons, you can apply for that. Um, just letting everybody know, we're always happy to host hackathons, get more developers engaged. We'll be going over Easy Sandbox soon. There's a dedicated space for it, but we just want to let you know that it's also available on the homepage. It's really easy to access. Here's a pulse. We've just reached a huge milestone, 90,000 nodes on the network. We're growing every day, really quick. Our top regions, India, Vietnam, and the US. Like I said, 45 transactions per second on our L1. Our L1 is called K2, and that's our total amount of transactions so far. Um, our daily active nodes is usually actually a lot higher. This is actually just today that we're looking at, and it's probably because it's a bit early in the day. But usually we're sitting somewhere closer to about 18. Um, yeah. So, right. The next thing is our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, and GitHub communities. GitHub is where you're going to find all of our templates. It's a great place to get started. When you're developing on Koii, we have a bunch of templates and tutorials that are baked all into that GitHub. You can find updates on Twitter. We're always doing a lot of our marketing on Twitter. We're always announcing partnerships. Telegram is the spot for business development. So if you have any business development inquiries with Koii, you can find us on Telegram. We're more than happy to help you figure out what your business will even be. Maybe you have a task idea, but you don't know how to monetize it. We have an expert team of senior crypto advisors, and they're more than happy to give you some assistance in figuring out your project. The bread and butter, though, of our support community is Discord. And I just want to highlight that we're launching a new developer section in the Discord. So if you join our Discord today, if you go to the dev applications section in the Koii community, you can apply to be a developer. I suggest you do that now. That'll give you access to opening priority developer support tickets in the Discord community. And we have a bunch of staff that are always available to basically help you tackle any problem that you might have. So strongly recommend you go to that Discord community. Oh, and we have our blog. I should definitely mention our blog. I don't mention our blog enough. The Koii blog is where it's like the hub and source for all good information on Koii. If you're looking for an overview on anything that's not docs, basically, the blog is the best place to go and get it. For example, we just released a comprehensive guide on creating a wallet in Koii. Whether it is a desktop Finny wallet, or sorry, whether it's a browser Finny wallet, a desktop Koii node wallet, or a file system wallet, depending on what you're doing. Most developers in the chat are probably interested in the file system wallet, so you can figure out how to make one of those there. You'll need our CLI tool, which we'll be going over today as well, but I can make sure to open up a new tab just in case, so I don't forget about it. The next thing we wanted to go over was the dashboard. So I'll move that over, is the dashboard. So this is our Koii heartbeat. This is where you can get all of the information on what's going on right now in Koii in terms of numbers. So like we said, we reached 9,000 nodes. Yeah, oh wow, that's an interesting drop off. Probably, oh yeah, we reset the network today because we added some new validator nodes into the cluster. So that's probably the dip you're seeing right there. But I can verify that I'll make an announcement on the Discord if there's something else going on, but I'm almost positive that's what it is. So yeah, as you can see, we're sitting around 18,000, 17,000. Anywhere in a given day. Daily new nodes, our peak 76. We're hitting an average of 39. That's a great number. Sometimes it's in the hundreds when we have events. Sometimes it's a little lower, but overall we are growing every day, and that's the best part. We have such an excess of compute. It's crazy. So it's the best time right now to get on the Koii network. Most developers are basically getting compute for free, and there's never been a better time to jump into the Koii bandwagon. Um, so yeah, our biggest communities right now are listed here. How much supply Koii in mainnet? We haven't launched mainnet yet. But if you want more information on the tokenomics, you can always go to our homepage and you can check out our white paper here, or we have our tokenomics section here, and we're always updating this. So I would definitely recommend going to our white paper, going all the way to the bottom page here, and you can read all about our tokenomics and exactly how we want to disperse that. Not really for this webinar series here, but that's definitely a great question, and you can find all the information in the white paper there. I suggest you go through it slowly. Probably I think 10 billion, I want to say, but don't quote me on that. Definitely check out the white paper. If you want to see some of the activity that's going on the tasks, you can check out the tasks and the daily user average. So we have 10,000 nodes on our free task. We have 8,000 on the R-Weaver task. We have an inflation monitoring task with 5,000 or 6,000 nodes, 3,000 on ADOT. Aside from the free token task, these are all partner tasks. These are developers like you. They made tasks and they have people running the tasks and ensuring that their compute network is live and ongoing 24/7. We have, as you can see, new developers coming into the pipeline basically every week, and we'd really, really love for you guys to be one of them. The Easy Sandbox. So next week we're going to be going and doing a really deep dive on the Easy Sandbox. So if you're curious about that, you have any questions specifically relating to then, you can definitely feel free to join our next webinar, webinar number 5. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now, or definitely jump into our Discord. Again, I would love to see you in Discord. I'd love to give you the special developer roles, and we'll go over some special developer perks that you might be able to gain access to in just a bit here. I have a question in chat. Is there a plan to onboard communities from developing countries? Any roadmaps? Right now, we'll go back to our dashboard. I will admit that our focus right now is on these top 20 countries right now. So if you want some more hype going on in your country, if you want some more attention, I really recommend you try and maybe get some referrals out there. But our support is primarily to support these countries. When it comes to the developer side of things, if you're a developer and not necessarily a retail user, we have a lot of extra support for basically anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Um, we will give you support to develop on Koii. We'll give you the resources you need, and we'll make sure that you can get a roadmap to success for you. So I can't give you a roadmap for anyone. If you're a developer and you want a roadmap for yourself, reach out. We can 100% build one out for you. But in general, we're trying to focus on these top 20 countries. So we're trying to make sure that we're localized in all these different languages, trying to make sure that we're launching campaigns in all these different languages. And as we gain the capacity to expand, we'll definitely be looking into other regions. Cool. So back to the Easy Sandbox. This is going to be our series of workshops. It'll get you up and running to build your first app in no time. It's literally what it says right here. You can start your lesson, just jump right in. We'll definitely be taking a peek at this closer to the end, but I just wanted to go over the lessons before we jump onto the next part of the site. So we go over nodes, networking and storage, crawlers and secrets, data sharing and replication incentives, security and hardening, custom tokens. If you want custom tokens, a lot of people want their own tokens to deploy their own tokens with their tasks. So I definitely suggest you check out that lesson. Um, Faucets, getting the faucet tokens, deploying your own task. And I will admit lesson number 8 is currently in progress, but it's going to be performance improvements and iteration lifecycle best practices. So that one's not quite live yet, but the other ones are, and I definitely suggest you check them out. Again, if you haven't already, download the Koii desktop node. That's going to let you create a wallet. It's going to give you access to the faucet. It's going to give you your first few node or coins, Koii tokens. Once you get enough of those Koii tokens, you can launch your app. Or if you're interested, if you have an app idea right now, Koii can get you special access to grant programs. Let's talk about the grant programs really quick. So Koii does have this grant page where you can apply for grants, but I'll admit that this isn't the fastest way for you to get grants. Typically, this is for larger enterprises that want to get, access to 50, 100, $150,000, and they have a really solid plan for how they're going to use the money. And basically, this money can only be used on compute. But if you're a new developer, we have a different program for you called our Ocean Program, where you can get access to 5,000 Koii tokens to launch your task and basically cover any operational cost you can think of. So I just wanted to highlight that the best way to probably get access to Koii to launch your task is probably to go to our Discord. Go to our Discord, apply to be a developer, go through our steps to get into the Ocean program, and that'll be the best way to get access to some early Koii for funding. And we also give you access to an accelerator through the Ocean program, which I'll talk about in just a minute. We have some questions, and I'll go to those in chat. Is deploying an app the same as running a node? No, that's a great question. Deploying an app and running a node are two completely different things. So when we say running a node, we mean running our desktop node. So when you go to the Koii.network, you can get the node right up here. You can download that. That's going to open our desktop app. What that's going to let you do is, as you've probably seen, it gives you those play and pause buttons that let you run tasks. And what that'll do is basically other tasks, other companies will be rewarding you with Koii to use some of your spare compute resources. So that's running the node. Deploying an app is actually when you make your own task on Koii. So those tasks can be apps, they can be microservices, they can be servers, they can be crawlers. We've seen a lot of different tools, but deploying an app is essentially when you make your own task and other people run that for you. That's running the node. Some tasks on the node are requesting for personal names and passwords. Is it really safe? Yeah, so we when we ask for those passwords, those are all stored locally in environment variables. So it's never leaving your computer. It's always local. You're always in complete control. You can delete them if you want to at any point in the process. And all it's doing is it's locally letting the node, which is the app that's running. You're running the node, and you're probably running an app on your node, and that node is just going to log into Twitter. So it's all local. It's never leaving your computer. But we're going to add another layer of security because we know some people have been asking to restrict access to the files and stuff like that, that are looking after those different files. But right now we handle it basically like your standard password manager does. How do I apply to become a developer on Discord? Amazing question. So join our Discord, go through our little onboarding process, and you'll basically be given the community member tag status. In the community general area, there's a developer applications channel. You can click that. You can go to the form and you can fill that form out now. I'll be looking at those forms by the end of day today, within the next, 8 to 12 hours. And I'll be basically getting the next batch of developers in. So if you want to be part of that, definitely join the Discord and fill out that form. But you have to be in the Discord server to be approved. So you can fill out the form here if you'd like, and you can fill it now. Just make sure you're in the Discord server so that I can give you the role when the time comes. If not, I might forget about you and you might need to reapply. So make sure you're in the Discord server. So the next step we want to talk about is the Ocean program just before we jump into the docs. So the Koii Ocean program is a pre-launch investor platform that's going to be hosted by Koii. So the Koii Ocean program is an overall accelerator program, and it's basically a pre-launch platform for you to get build a community, gain special developer access from the core team, and also access to a crowdfunding platform. So eventually, yes, you'll be able to launch your program here on this site, and just like maybe Kickstarter or Steam Greenlight, you'll be able to crowdsource and crowdfund your projects on the Koii network. So if you're interested at all in diving into a real task, you have a business that you want to develop on Koii, you need access to some compute, but you want to get it done on the cheap or possibly even free right now. Testnet is still live, and for the most part, users are pretty happy to run tasks for free. So for the next month and a half, you can probably get some really cheap compute for testing your apps. If you're interested in that, definitely apply to be a developer and try and get through this pipeline. We will give you the best support we can to make sure that your app and your task is successful on Koii and that your business is successful on Koii. And like I said, the Koii Ocean program gives you access to our expert panel of crypto advisors. They have a lot of experience, including one of our senior members led business development at OKX for many years, basically bringing them from like a $300 million company to like $1 billion company that they are today. So if you're looking for any assistance, advice, try and join the Koii Ocean program, and we can get you access to that expert mentor and a bunch of others. Okay, so in the last 15 minutes here, we're just going to quickly go over the docs in Easy Sandbox, and we'll see just how much we can kind of get through before we run out of time. And I'll leave about 5 minutes at the end for questions. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to the docs here at Koii. This is obviously a very powerful place for developers to be. There's a lot of useful information that you can get access to. So in the top right-hand corner here, we have a search bar. This is the best way to navigate, in my opinion. There's a few particular cool features that you can use with our search features, such as favoriting certain pages. My favorite page to go to is our Koii Comics page. This is where you can see all of our Koii Comics. What our Koii Comics are is just a really fun, creative visual way to explain what Koii is. Maybe to you, maybe to some friends, basically anyone. We know a lot of developers are sometimes trying to show their friends what Koii is. This is a great place to get it done. We have a bunch of colorful images. They really explain things. Right at the bottom here, what might be interesting to you is what are KPL tokens? How do I launch my own coin on Koii? What does that mean? I have up here the Koii Garden, or better yet, the Koii Ocean. They're two related programs. You can learn more about, are you a developer? Sign up and get registered for the program. We have how mining with Koii uses your unused disk space. How does this work? What is a world computer? How Koii rewards its users? How are we able to run decentralized compute tasks off chains? And lastly, but not leastly, how can Koii help with inflation? So these are amazing, amazing comics. They're made by our fantastic graphic design team. This is how I learned what Koii was for the first time, and I loved it. I was completely enamored. I really suggest you come check these out. I'll definitely be dropping them in chat. We have a question. What type of apps can be deployed on Koii, or is it only tasks for now? That's a great question. And I did forget to go on our ecosystem to go over some of the things that are going on in Koii. So let's talk about some tasks, and then we'll talk about apps. And we'll talk about exactly what those two things mean. So the first thing to understand is that Koii is a back-end system. For the most part, what it's giving you is resources such as compute. Oh, we have someone chatting.
Oo.
Oh, there we go. Just give them a mute. In general, Koii is a backend, so it's giving you access to resources such as compute and networking. A front end can be anything you want. Typically, a front end is an app. So we think about web apps like websites. We think about mobile apps, so phone apps, iOS and Android apps. Any app that's at the front layer can always communicate with a backend service, and that backend service can be running on Koii. So some tasks, for example, so tasks are running on Koii. Tasks are the backend. So right now we have, for example, ADOT, which is collecting AI on real-time cryptocurrencies and other assets. We have Mask, which is a social trading tool. Trueflation, which is getting economic data. We have Moti, which is a personalized data with zero knowledge technology, basically like an ID. We have Orca, which is Docker containers running on Koii, basically to build any application you want, any application layer you want. And so what does this mean for building apps on
Что
Koii?
там бассейн?
Apps on Koii are very easy to do. So there's probably
Что?
two best ways to go about it. All nodes have endpoints on them, so you can HTTPS into them if you'd like. We also have universal plug and play, which lets you very seamlessly and easily connect with your app to a backend, assuming that your router allows it. So that there is a router limitation on UPnP. That's why we recommend. I mean, it's less secure as well, and that's why we probably recommend the HTTPS route. Or if you'd like to use a node server in crypto and you'd like to use UPnP, just know that there's a slight limitation on that, and you'll have to implement crypto yourself. Um, Otherwise, you can use an express server to do the HTTPS requests. So when we talk about apps, what do we mean by that? Well, we mean anything. So right now, Koii is working on a tic-tac-toe game. But on the other side, you could have any client you want. You could have any app you want. Deploy it to a phone. Deploy it to um, to a computer, deploy it to the desktop, deploy it to a website. It could be a game if you want, like maybe you've built it on Unity game engine, or it could be a service, like maybe you've used Streamlit, and you're doing some sort of AI call, you're calling an AI model. You can send all of the calls, anything that you want on the server, a DB. Maybe you want to manage a big database for your game. Maybe you want to have models living on a cloud network as opposed to on, everybody's device. Well, then you can just connect in to the Koii backend. And that's how Koii enables apps. So apps are really easy, actually. All you have to do is make a nice front end and then set up some endpoints to connect to a backend. Just like, hitting Koii Network / ecosystems. It's as easy as basically punching in a URL and getting the information you want out. There's also some different approaches. You don't have to use HTTPS. Like I said, you could use UPnP and Node. And there's other protocols that you could use, such as RTP, if you wanted to use a streaming architecture. So we have a lot of different options. Um, for app development. If you have an idea for an app that you want to build, I think the best way to do it is go into Discord, just ask, and we'll be more than happy to have someone on the team help you develop your idea, and tell you what's the best practice and basically how to get it going. Is that like building an API that communicate with Koii? Exactly. You're spot on. It's like building a REST API. It is a RESTful API that can communicate with Koii. So you can use posts, gets, puts, deletes, and you can communicate directly with a Koii node. So you'd basically make your task, which is your backend. Maybe it's a server in this case, really easy. Yeah, let's say you have a RESTful server, right? And that server is hosting your API. And so you could have a client go to your website with an API key. They could put that API key in. They could put in their query, their command. They could post that or get that from you. And your task could do whatever it's doing on the back end, whether it's managing a database or whether it's serving uh, a service from a server. So I just wanted to look a little bit closer over maybe the fundamentals of a Koii task. Maybe that'll help get answer some questions. I know we only have a few minutes left here. So what does this look like? You're going to deploy a task. Essentially, a task is going to be your backend. It's going to be your executable file. You're going to register that task. You're going to stake some tokens onto the K2 blockchain, which is our layer 1 blockchain. You're going to submit your proofs, which is basically your nodes are going to do the work. They're going to upload that work to the blockchain, and then other nodes on the blockchain are going to audit that work to make sure it's good work. If they vote yes, then other people in the network will get rewarded. If they vote no, then the bounty will be slashed. So this is how we're protecting you from bad actors on the network. This is how we're always ensuring that you're getting good work, even though it's coming from the community. I wanted to show you the runtime too. So what does a task actually do? What does it look like? So there's three parts: submission, audit, distribution. I'm just going to go over these really quickly because there's some other things I want to go over, but there's actually a lot more to this, and I suggest you check out our docs to really get into this. This is in docs concepts, what are tasks, gradual consensus. So all of this is really easy to find right from the homepage of our docs. Um, I can actually show you how to get there. Basically, if you go to the homepage of the docs, you'll be able to click this next button. Just keep clicking next and reading through all this, and eventually you will get to this runtime flow page. And so what runtime flow looks like is your task is going to do the job. It's going to do the work. It's going to host your server. It's going to manage your database. It's going to be your RESTful. It's going to, or host your RESTful API through some endpoints, and it's going to serve it. However, it's going to serve it. After that, all the nodes are going to submit a proof. A proof is an object that they're going to send to other nodes to say, hey there, I did the work. You get to choose what a proof looks like because every task requires a different proof. But basically, it's going to be something that says, hey there, I did the work and I did it legit. And here's the proof to show you. The other nodes on the network are going to audit it. They're going to basically vote yes or no, and then they'll send it to a node which will distribute the rewards. We are going to touch on these three things last. These four things. That's okay. That's the basics of how a node works. So just before I leave you, we only have a few minutes. There's just four things I want to go over. So the first thing is going to be our easy sandbox. Easy Sandbox is, like I said, our workshop. I really suggest you guys go through this. You can click the Start Here button. It's going to take you into Lesson 1, which is introducing the Koii tasks. And you can click any of these parts to basically dive deep into something that's going on in Koii. Now, you might notice that all of this is within GitHub. And you might think, well, is that because it's an interactive workshop? And it is. You can click this code button here and you can click this copy to URL button, and you can basically go right into GitHub and play around with this. Alternatively, you can press, I think, the dot key. Yeah, you can press the period key on the GitHub page, and that'll actually load a version of VS Code in your browser with all of the Easy Sandbox loaded. So you don't even need to download anything. You can just jump right in. And I think you can press Control Shift tilde. There is a way to open up the console. I don't know it right off the top of my head, but you can basically access the entire Easy Sandbox right through here. All you have to do is press period. This is the dot button when you're on the GitHub page. So go through that. That's going to teach you everything about Koii. When you're ready, you're probably going to want a template. Now we have two templates. You can find our templates on our GitHub, or optionally, you can go to our docs, 0 to Hero with Koii tasks. We have a quick start, which is about a 2-minute guide, which will go over the basics of a very core of what I've said here. So if you just want a 2-minute, how do I deploy something, go there. Our tutorial is our easy sandbox, and then we have our task template. So you can go to our task template. We have a generic task template that's basically bare bones and empty. It's going to have some instructions on how to set it up, but it's going to be completely up to you to do whatever you want with this. Remember that everything starts in index.js, and there's also this task folder, which is going to have your audit, distribution, and submission. And again, next week we'll be going over exactly what each of these were. And you can also look at our webinar 1 if you want another overview of Easy Sandbox, where our founder Al actually went over everything. So this is the second template we have that I'm going to show you today, at least. It's called a Task X template. This is an X crawler. So this is a task that basically goes over. It's actually not a crawler, it's a scraper. It goes over Twitter and it scrapes tweets based off certain keywords. The idea is essentially to archive Twitter or to create large databases that you can use to train AI, or perhaps you want to have an API and you want to sell access to a bunch of this data. Whatever you want to do with it, uh, this task X is a great template to get you started. And there's basically there's a few others that you might be able to find on our GitHub hub. I don't recommend looking into the other ones. I recommend looking at the task X or the template task just to learn, because they're the best places to start. And then chat with one of our helpful devs in the Discord. Remember, you can apply to become a developer in the Discord, gain special access to our developer section. Then you can chat with developers, and they can really help you, or I can help you, figure out exactly what your task should look like, what the core pieces are, and if it makes sense. The last thing I want to go over is our CLI. So this is our command line interface tool. So this is basically how you can interact with the K2 network locally. K2 network is our L1 network. The command line tool will let you deploy tasks, update tasks, create your own tokens, and some other really, really nifty things that developers that might be really useful for you as a developer. I think I've been able to go over everything now. I know I talked really quickly at the end there. Um, we're in our last 4 minutes, so I just want to leave or open the floor to questions. If you have any questions about anything that went on here, let me know. Uh, Again, I just want to bring up the fact that we have a poll going on where you can submit your thoughts and ideas on this webinar and how it went. We're trying to make the webinar better. We're trying to make it more useful. So go there and post your ideas of what was good, what was bad, like some comments, really participate in the conversation. I guess I can stop sharing here. But yeah, I'm gonna open everything up to some to the floor. Open the floor up, sorry, to the audience. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them out. I wonder if there's anything I can go over in the meantime. Oh yeah, the last thing I'll just go over briefly is that more slowly next week. Next week's webinar is going to be going over the Easy Sandbox in a bit more detail. So I'm going to be showing you we're going to be going through the lessons. We're going to be going through some of the important changes that we added. I'm sure you can see that the most recent commit was yesterday, so there are some new things in there. And I'm also going to be showing you exactly how to use the web browser version, just in case that's more comfortable with you. Maybe you're not on Windows. There's a lot of options here, a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of meat that we can get through, and we'll go through it really slowly next week so that you won't be as overwhelmed with all the other stuff that's going on here. Um, I just wanted to highlight again the Koii Ocean program. To join the Discord community, get developer access, join the developer space. Let's start a conversation. The developer space is brand new in our Discord, so you guys can be basically the first cohort. Please, can you send out links of the GitHub and other meets? Yes, for sure. So let's start with our homepage. Remember, you can sign up for our webinars right there on the homepage. If you want to get access to, the task template, you can find that here. We have the X task. You can find that here. Again, you can always hit me up in the Discord and I'll be happy to give you these links. The Easy Sandbox, you can find that on our homepage, but I'll also drop that here. Let's see, the command line interface, it's a great link. Comics, it's a great link. The Koii Ocean Program, I'd probably say join our Discord first. If you want to join our Discord, I'll drop the link to that. How to create a wallet is our most recent blog post. We went over that too. Yeah, thanks so much for participating in today's dev webinar. I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys have a great day. Cheers.